afternoon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas here in the Philippines. Having my morning cup of tea, my Lipton green tea. I have to switch to green tea for a little bit here to get my creatinine level down instead of coffee. I'm getting used to it actually. I don't mind green tea. I used to drink a lot of green tea when I was in Japan. I lived in Japan for 4 years at Misawa Air Base, Japan in northern Japan, Aomori Prefecture. Really cold in northern Japan. It's like you get a lot of cold air from Russia, in northern Japan. 6 months of the year we had snow in Misawa Air Base. Usually October all the way to April we have snow in northern Japan. All right, I always start with the weather. Let me. There are no typhoons. There are no weather conditions or anything like tropical depression. Nothing like that. It just says here easterlies. The winds from the east coming from the Pacific Ocean, Metro Manila, Bicol region, Eastern Visayas, Cagayan, pretty much the whole country. It just says here cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Like here in Numancia, it rained last night when I took Leanna to school this morning. It's still wet. The roads are wet, but let me show you real quick. It's like bright and sunny here in Aklan province, here in our small town of Numancia. Let me show you guys here. But I'm not gonna go too far because my internet seems like when I go too far out the door, it starts going out on me. But bright sun this morning, still some clouds. We still might get rain this morning, but quiet in the neighborhood. My neighbor there's like a bunch of motorbikes parked right there. He's having some construction, maybe an addition to his house. That's how it is here at Camellia Aklan. People, you can add on your lot, like for us here, I can add like another room extension. You can build a balcony as long as you get permission from the homeowners association. But really quiet, always quiet here in our neighborhood. Nothing ever seems to happen here during the morning, the day. But the only time I really see a lot of kids on our street here, they ride their bikes, they ride their skateboards at sunset time, but bright and sunny. Wow, that sun is like super bright sun this morning. There's my dog Totoy. That's always Totoy's spot right there. Favorite spot to sleep. I'm waiting on my Dodgers. I'm waiting on my Dodger game. Game 1 of the National League finals of the National League this morning. Game 1 in the Milwaukee Brewers. We're playing the Milwaukee Brewers today. I got it on my laptop here, so when the game comes on, I might have to keep the live stream short. I might have to keep the live stream short today to watch my Dodgers. Good morning, Michael C. from Trece Martires in Cavite. Start raining here. Yeah, it rained last night. I kind of could feel like it was raining last night. And then this morning, when I come out there, I actually started a load of laundry and it was wet. Everything was still wet. But it stopped raining when I took Leanna to school, and now it looks like it's going to be a sunny day. Good morning, good morning, my brother Bon. All right, Bon, good morning. Go Dodgers. All right, Michael. Thank you. Ray, good morning, Ginno. Good morning, Ray. Ray in the Philippines. Both of them have channels. Michael C in the Philippines, Ray in the Philippines. They both have channels. Like I said, Michael C, he's in Trece Martires. A lot of expats moved to Trece Martires. interested, follow his channel. You can get, if you're interested in that area. And then Ray, he's in Tagaytay. I mean, Tagaytay is like one that, like, I would say in the Philippines, it has to be in the top 10 in the Philippines as far as retirement destinations here in the Philippines. He lives in a condo, beautiful, beautiful view that Ray has of Tagaytay. Good morning. And he's also got I was like, I shared his balut challenge. He ate a balut. You know, I sent it, I shared it on my Facebook. And he's a brave man. He's a brave man because the balut that Ray ate, man, that's a very fertilized balut. You know, it's not like the tiny embryo. I mean, like Ray said, it's like it had beak. It had a beak and it had feathers already. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't eat that balut, man. Good morning, Ginno. I miss my wife. Oh, your wife's from here. All right. From Aklan province. I mean, for me, man, I fell in love with Aklan province. You know, it's like this is my forever home now. You know, it's like I don't plan on ever leaving Aklan province. We might build, and we bought land in Katiklan someday when I get my Social Security. Less than 3 years, I should get my Social Security. So we will probably build something on the land that we bought, but I'll never leave Aklan. I fell in love with Aklan province, you know. Been here for 14 years now, happily retired. And I just got lucky, I guess, you know. I never even knew about the mainland Aklan province. All I knew about Aklan province was Boracay. That's why I came here to Boracay. My first 18 months was in Boracay Island. But when I moved over to the mainland here in Aklan, mainland Aklan just offers so much. And then the whole of Panay Island. You got Aklan province, Antique province, Capiz province, where Rojas City is. The Canadian beaver is in Rojas City. And then Iloilo City. You got whole province of Iloilo. Just fell in love with Panay Island, Aklan province. You know, it's like, I always tell people, man, Panay Island is one of the gems here in the Philippines. It's got everything. It's got everything you'll ever want in an island. You know, it's a big island. It's not like a small island, but you got cities. If you want Iloilo City, you got good medical care in Iloilo City. The provinces are improving. Like here in Calibo, we now have a Asia Pacific Medical Center. They're building another Asia Pacific Medical Center in Boracay. So to me, the thing that I think will attract more and more expats here in Panay Island is the cost of living here. And then it's a provincial environment, but with a city. You know, it's like you're not far from the city. You know, like even in Rojas City, if you go to Rojas City, it's borderline city, borderline province feel to it. It's not like Cebu City or not like Manila at all. You know, it's not that crowded. That's why a lot of people, when they come here to Panay Island, they start touring the different provinces. They're just surprised at how wide open spaces there are still. You know, like rice fields. You drive. You know, you don't have a problem with traffic. If you're a motorbike enthusiast, like my good friend James from James and Karen's Adventures, man, he's gonna have awesome like adventures here in the Panay Island. I cannot wait to see all his moto vlogging. He just came back from Iloilo. He test drove his new motorcycle. He's got a new Honda, dual sport Honda. You know, he can climb up the mountains here in Panay Island. He can go to like places where other people don't go, like he did when he went to Licticon White Rocks in Madalag, Aklan. Man, that area is so hard to get to. You know, it's like there are 4x4 trucks that they don't get up there. And James got it like on the ordinary motorcycle, but now he's got the dual sport. So man, he's gonna have so incredible adventures here in Panay Island. I got to see your home from. Yes. Michael, he contacted Dazzle and I. He said they were in Boracay. They were like, hey, Ginno, we'll stop by. We want to check out your place. I said, sure. You know, it's like there's not much to check. You know, I mean, you saw the house, man. Our house is like 40 square meters, 430 square feet. It's not big, it's like basically this one room right here. It's like our living room, kitchen, dining, everything is in this one room, and the bedrooms are upstairs. You saw in the video, but we love it here. It's like for us, it's home for us. For Dazzle, Leanna, mom and I, it's like we have fun. Our house might be small, but we have a good time. It's like I think the home it's the people in the home that makes it a home. It's not like you can have a gigantic home, but if the people don't get along, it's not going to be a fun home to live in. Greetings, Ginno. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. Just getting started. My day started. Waiting on my Dodgers. Waiting on my Dodgers. Excited for game one. You think of adding things. Yes, actually, we've been talking about it. I almost did it. I almost pulled the trigger this year, but more likely this coming summer when the weather is better. We just wanted to, if you notice on the video in the back, we have a laundry area. There's a good space there. We can build a room, like a studio, like another room addition. That way, when I build that room, that will be Dazzle's and I's room. That way, I don't have to climb up the stairs anymore. I can still climb the stairs, so I'm still healthy. But, as I get older, that stairs right there might get rougher, So just build another room. I'm already actually got quotes from a couple of people to do an addition room. Not bad. The quotes I'm getting is like $3,000 to add another room with a roof, with a door to the outside, air conditioned. But I'm just waiting, and I just, here in the Philippines, when they give you a quote like that, when they give you like a 1,000, 150,000 pesos, about $3,000, when they give you a quote like that, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, because usually when they start construction there, we didn't realize we gotta add this, or the expenses starts going up. Any construction that you get done here, that's why I said I'm taking my time, making sure I have the cash, because I'll have to pay everything in cash if I build up on it. Morning, Bon. Ray in the Philippines. He says, morning, Bon. Michael, you think? And then Larry, saw the video with the other blogger at your house. Went well. Yes, I think so. I mean, it's like, like I said, not much to see in our house. It's like it's a tiny home. But for us, like I said, it's a home for us. Howdy, Panay Pasi, or Panay Bros from Daniel in Jacksonville, Florida. Hello. Good morning, Edgar. Hope you're having your pandesal, your malunggay pandesal in Calibo, Edgar. Hello, brother Ginno. Cold, rainy here in Tucson. Ooh, man, cold and rainy, man. I spent my last 7 years in the United States in Tucson. Always. I love my time in Tucson, Arizona. I was a serious road cyclist. My Saturdays and Sundays were always spent road cycling back at Old Spanish Trail, Vail, you name it. And then I rode on a lot of bike rides all across Arizona. Tombstone, Bisbee, Casa Grande, all the way up in the Phoenix area, Chandler, just a lot of bike rides. I had a bike rack I had a Mustang, a yellow Mustang, and I had a yellow's my color, Bumblebee's yellow. I had a yellow Mustang. I had a yellow road bike. I used to I had a bike rack on my Mustang on the back, so I just took that everywhere. Almost every Saturday and Sunday, there was bike rides going on in Arizona. I would drive my car there, then rode with a bunch of friends of mine from Tucson. Great memories. I have great memories of Tucson, Arizona. I worked at St. Mary's Hospital there. I was the risk management coordinator for Carondelet Health Network. There was we were 4 hospitals under Carondelet Health. It was St. Mary, St. Joseph, Tucson Heart, and Holy Cross in Nogales. Those were the hospitals that I supported. Edgar, all right, hello. Hello, Daniel, Sergeant USA. Hey, Ray. Good morning, Ginno, the Colonel, the Colonel. All right, the Colonel. I've been catching up on some of your videos, Colonel. I'm watching more and more of our group, because I want to like learn about you guys. This morning I was watching Journeys in Bohol. Journeys in Bohol. He built that nice, still building. It looks like he's still building, kind of like a studio house, kind of. He's got an awesome view from his like top deck. You could see Cebu. You could see Cebu, the water from Bohol. Amazing home, and he's building a nice setup there in Bohol. Tagaytay, south of Manila, on a volcano edge. If so, I've been there. Yes, Larry. Yes, one of the Tagaytay, because of Taal volcano, Taal Lake. That's like one of the tourist destinations here in the Philippines. A lot of people, especially people that go to Manila, it's a quick trip to Tagaytay, hour and a half, and you're at the you can look at Taal volcano. So a lot of people, and I'm sure you visited. If you visited that area, I'm sure you've seen it because it's so close to Manila. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Colonel. Good morning, Edgar from Ray in the Philippines. Turtle in the snow in the mighty name. All right. God, thank you. God bless there, Turtle. Edgar, how's life there so far? All right, Edgar. I'll let Edgar. It's like seems to me Edgar's having a good time. It's like yesterday I saw Edgar posting a photo, a video. He was at the beach. Can't beat that, right? It's October and you're on the beach. It's like. But Edgar's having, we're making sure Edgar's got friends here. It's like he's not by himself. It's like Philippines. Hold on. My laptop started to play. I gotta lower the volume on my laptop. I don't want that to distract us. 5,000 islands. No, we actually have 7,000 islands and more. And they just updated it too. They added another like 200 islands to the Philippines. Beluz, good morning, my good friend in Wyoming, in God's country, in Wyoming. I think it's close. Yeah, it is. It's climbing up there. I know. I read an article. They added another. I guess they counted it. I mean, like that's a lot of counting to count all the islands, but they added more islands. Good morning, Beluz. Good morning, Beluz. Fell in love not only to my beautiful wife, but also her beautiful province. A lot of places. Yes, that's the thing. When you come here, like in Panay Island alone, right? That's only like one island in the Philippines, 4 provinces in Panay Island. Man, you'll see waterfalls here. You'll see Licticon white rocks, beaches, some of the best white sand beaches you'll see in the Philippines. Just so rivers, you go fishing in the rivers. Just so much nature. Like I said, if you're a motorbike enthusiast, if you like riding motorbikes, like me, I enjoy it in my car. It's like I never rode motorcycles till I got here to the Philippines. In my entire life, I never drove a motorbike. That's why on Bumblebee, it's an automatic. It's a scooter, really. It's not even considered a motorbike. I think it's like. But I put a sidecar because I'm not a confident motorcycle rider. But man, you can just go on the road here. Like when I drive my car to the different provinces here. Nothing but rice fields, fish ponds, mountains, ocean, the beach. I mean, it's just beautiful to ride your motorbike here. Like Jeffrey is saying, you fall easily in love with the Philippines because it's so green. I came my last year, 7 years in the U.S. I lived in the desert. So for me to come in the desert to the Philippines, I was like telling myself, what was I waiting for? I waited too long. I should have been here already, man. Edgar, hello, Ray and Bon, it's been great. Went to the mall yesterday. And so many pretty ladies working at the mall. Hey, Edgar. Hey, man, Edgar's single now. It's like when you're single, I can't be doing that, man. I get smacked on the head by Dad. So, it's like I walk, with my head down. I walk with my head down, man. I get in trouble, man. Good morning, Bill. Ginno is like the Panay. I don't know about Godfather, man. I'm not the Panay Godfather. Found his site about 15, 16 months ago and decided to pull the trigger and make Panay my home. And to me, man, I take that serious, Daniel, that you're pulling the trigger and you're selecting Panay Island because of me. Man, I take that serious, man. That's why when you come here, man, I will assist you the best way I can. You're going to be my guest. My family's going to entertain you. We're going to make sure you have at least that soft landing. No pressure if you decide to, like, after you land here and it's not for you. Because the thing that people got to realize, no two people will experience the Philippines the same. Like my experience when Daniel lands here in the Philippines could be totally different. We have different eyes. We have different emotions. When we look at a place, I might be like, wow, this is like paradise to me. But for Daniel, he could come here and say, dang, where's my luxuries? Where's the luxury? How come it's so inconvenient here? That's why I'm saying no two people will like the same thing or dislike the same thing. So it's different for each person. That's why. But all I can provide for people coming here that's my friend, Daniel's my friend, now my brother. If he comes here, I will do the same that I did with Edgar. I will pick you up at the airport. I will set you up in an apartment. I will show you around. And then it's up to you whether you in a month or two, if you decide, man, this is really not the place for me, you will not hurt my feelings at all. Because for me, I've already done my job. My job is I'm like the welcoming committee. I just want to welcome you, a smiling face here in the Philippines, and then it's up to you, whether you're gonna like Panay Island. If not, if you go to Dumaguete, if you go to Bacolod, wouldn't hurt my feelings because most people I know anyway, when they land in the Philippines to retire or move here, they like to move around. Like Ruben, he's in Calibo. He has a fully furnished studio apartment in Calibo. He uses Calibo as his base. That way he's not lugging all his luggage, his backpack. When he travels, he can travel light with just a backpack, Don't have to lug all his stuff around. But since Ruben's been here, he's been here 10 months, he's been to Davao, he's been to Dumaguete, he's been to Iloilo, he's been to Angeles, Nueva Ecija. Just in the 10 months, it's been I can't keep up with Ruben because it's I'll be checking on Ruben. I say, hey, Ruben, hey, brother. Hey, he's from Hawaii, so I call him brother. It's like, hey, brother, what you doing? And he goes oh, man, I'm headed to Dumaguete. I was like, dude, you didn't tell me you were going to Dumaguete. But that's the way it is. To me, it's the main thing is I like it when, I enjoy chatting, texting Ruben because he's having a great time. I know he's having the time of his life. And to me, that's what it's all about. Like I said, most of us, we're in the fourth quarter of our life. We just want to have fun. We just want to experience an adventure and have fun. Morning, Bill. All right. When I built my house, designed for an elevator in the future. Wow, an elevator, man. Me, man, I think, then my next house, if we do build in Catiglan in our land, Beluis, I want a single story home. I don't want any more of that stairs, and I don't want to be climbing up and down the stairs anymore. I want just a studio size, same size as this house, maybe 40 square meter, but everything, maybe bunk beds even, because more likely it'll just be Dazzle and I. By that time, Leanna will probably in college already. Maybe we'll all right, makes sense. The design for elevator, because you never know if like I said, I don't know if I can keep go up and down them stairs in the future. That's why I'm thinking of that. That's why we're thinking of adding the one bedroom down here. That way I don't have to go up and down the stairs. I know I didn't think about that when we bought the house here 10 years ago, because 10 years ago I felt like I can go up and down the stairs all the time, and I can still can. It's like I can still do them stairs, but like I said, maybe 10 years from now, I don't know. I don't know. Happy to say, God's will. All right, Beluis. Michael C. Good morning, Ray and Vaughn. All right, good morning. Oh, Fortune. Fortune's in the house. Fortune is in the house. The Panay Posse. All right. Good morning. And I love the vibe. Like I always say, I love the vibe that we all know each other. We're all becoming friends. We're all I know Ray in the Philippines. He's already met Michael personally. They live so close to each other, so they've had coffee. I'm sure they've had lunch, dinner together. They had a live stream together. So to me, that's what it's all about. It's like let's be friends. Let's have a good time. You come here to Panay Island. You're welcome here. I'll show you around here. Boracay, if you go to Boracay, let's meet up. Michael C was saying, let's meet up in Boracay. Let's have fun. To me, life is supposed to be fun at this stage in our life. Most of us are retired. Most of us has pensions already, Social Security. It's like, we just want to enjoy the fourth quarter of our life. Good morning, Fortune. I hear you, Edgar. Take it easy, brother. Things have a way of working out. Yes. Things have, everything happens for a reason. That's what I always think that too. Good AM, Daniel, Edgar, the Colonel. Good AM, Badus. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ginno. Show me others the light. And now I see, no, there's much better, bright. There is, brother. There's no doubt about it for you, Daniel. I know I know you're, it's not fun living in, we're Jacksonville, Florida. You're like overwhelmed with the stuff that's going on, but there's a better life, brother. There's a better life here, and you're gonna be the Panay Posse number maybe 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 when you get here. So. Came from QZ, brought Maggie. UP Diliman. Raining all the time it's been raining. That's what earlier mentioned on the live stream too, raining in the area there. Ryan, hey Ryan, how'd you know? Enjoying the open air bus. Wow, you're riding the open air bus, right? Ryan messaged me and he said he was eating at the Canadian Beaver yesterday, and he said, Ginno, I might be headed to Calibo. I told him, hey, come on over, man. I'll meet up with you when you get here to Calibo. I don't know where he's staying yet when he gets to Calibo. I told him, I gave him my number, my cell phone number. I told him, just text me when you get to Calibo. I'll come to your hotel. We'll do a meetup. But that's pretty cool. Like, you rode the open air, man. Most people ride the air conditioned bus. When you ride the open air bus here in the province, from Capiz, from Rojas City to Calibo, that's only less than 2 hours on the bus, so it's not a long bus ride. But when you ride the open air bus here, man, you could be riding in there with chickens. There could be a rooster in the open air bus. Those guys be like sitting on the bus proudly holding their rooster. So you'd be riding on the bus and they'd be like, so hey, but I'm sure you're having a good time, man. I'm sure you're like soaking in the whole experience, To me, it's all fun. To me, it's all fun because it's like, where would you experience that? I know in America, you're not gonna ride in a bus with a chicken. It's like, that's not gonna happen. Bon, Fortune in the house. Tagaytay is substitute for Baguio. I know, right? It says, cooler temperatures in Tagaytay. I'm sure that's why one of the reasons Ray picked. That was on my list. Tagaytay was on my top 5 list when I was trying to pick a place in the Philippines. Stay safe out there, Fortune. All right, kumusta? Hey, Lowell, kumusta? Lowell from Oregon. God bless, my brother. Thank you again for joining the live stream. Thanks, Juan. All right. I watched James and Karen trip to Pototan. All right, I saw that yesterday too. And they might team transporting cement. I saw that like Michael was explaining like when they put the cement, I guess they're heavy. I don't realize cement. On the boat there's like a line, like a black line, and then the boat starts sinking because you can only haul a certain amount of cement because the cement bags are heavy. See, I'm learning things from Michael, man. I didn't know that. It's like, I thought, man, you can just put it on a boat. Let's go. It's like, I didn't know that, man, it could like, drop the boat down and you might sink the boat. Norman, Edgar. Hello, Ray. Daniel, you always have the Panay posse. Short bus riders have to say together. Yeah, that's it, right, Daniel? When you come here, you got Edgar now here. You got me. You got the Panay posse. So you will be all right, man. We will make sure it's fun for you when you get here. Good morning, Fortune. Sorry for typos. No worries. Hey, I know. Belu switched from an iPhone to like a Samsung Galaxy. I saw that, and he said it takes a lot better pictures. Looking forward to those pictures, Belus. Edgar, that's a spot to see the girls, the mall. Hey, Fortune knows. Fortune, I don't, man. It's like I said, man. I'm done with that. Man. I'll get in trouble with Dazzle if I do that. Save some of the girls for the rest of us. LOL. Say something. Riding the scooter will be a huge change. I am used to riding a Harley Davidson, but I understand the scooter is the best choice for city driving. I mean, Lowell, if you're used to the Harley Davidson, they do have them here. There is actually a Harley Davidson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fortune. I know there's a dealership, a Harley Davidson dealership in Manila, and I see the Harley Davidsons here in Aklan Province. I even saw one in Boracay. I was like, what is this Harley doing in Boracay? Boracay is so tiny, but guy was like going down a Demo Palenque, making all that, the Harley noise, I was like, what? It's like, because, expats, they like their toys. And, expats, a lot of times, there's a lot of expats with money, so, owning a Harley, getting a Harley here, it's not a problem if it's a Harley that you want to ride. But there's other, like the Honda ADV seems to be like one of the top choice for the 160cc Honda ADV. That's the most popular bike that you'll see here in Aklan Province anyway. They'll put like a box on the back of it, and they'll also put like saddlebags on it, and they just, I guess, put a lot of stuff in there, just like riding Panay Island. It was only looking. I look for Daniel and JP so I could give them a report on the lovely ladies. All right. It's like you're leading the way, Edgar. You're showing Daniel and JP the way. You're just doing the recon. Yeah, there you go. You're doing recon of the ladies in Kalibo. Edgar, I forgot what a woman looks like. I work in a small shop selling to plumbers. Oh, I know, right, Colonel? Like I said, I'm healthy. I don't have any injuries on my knees. I can go up and down the stairs, no problem. But, I would rather not. I would rather not. I mean, I'd rather do my walking outside, where it's flat, it's like, and the stairs here in the Philippines, when they build those stairs, it's steep. The steps are small and then it's steep. It's not like the stairs in the U.S. that I'm used to. It's like, I'm sure there's a standard in the U.S. Here, there's no building standard here because I've seen stairs worse than mine. I've seen stairs where mine is like this. I've seen stairs like this. So I guess there's no like a standard or there's no rules. Good morning, Ginno. All right, from San Diego, California. I've been there. I went to high school in Long Beach, California, and I had friends that live in the San Diego area. Visited San Diego many times. Crossed the border to Tijuana. Crossed the border to Tijuana. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Edgar, Josh, you can't help but notice the lovely ladies. are everywhere. You just need to say hello and start talking. Yeah, and a lot of times, Edgar, I'm sure he's getting to experience this. People here, when they see a foreigner, they call him afam or kano. If you smile at them, they'll smile back. It's like, because it's still not. I mean, there's more now, more expats now in Calibo, but it's still like, it still surprises them. I think, it's like, oh, another one, another American, another Canadian. Fourth quarter of life. Sometimes I think, at the 2 minute warning, Colonel. No, we're not in the 2 minute warning, Colonel. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Come on, you forgot already. Sergeant Frugal only want the lifestyle of the rich and famous every few years. On vacation. Oh, my dog's getting up. I think Totoy wants to walk outside. Maybe Ryan wants to see the scenery and see the day-to-day life. Yeah, he wanted to talk to me. He said he wanted to discuss retirement life in the Philippines. Got questions for me, and I said no worries. We can. I'll drink tea because I'm trying to avoid coffee, but we'll find a place in maybe at his hotel or a cafe near us. We'll just walk to a cafe and just, if he has questions for me, I'll be happy to answer his questions. Edgar, I started talking to the nice ladies and found out they were also nice guys. Nice guys! You got to be careful with that, Colonel. It's like, that's the world we live in now. You got to make sure, sometimes you're like, sure, right? You're not sure whether, is that a girl or a guy, Hi, Colonel. Fortune, you can enjoy bulalo in Tagaytay. Oh, I love the bulalo. Right there by mahogany market, man. The second floor there, the beef and all is displayed on the first floor. That mahogany market on the second floor with the bulalo is a beef dish. They put vegetables in it, cabbage. Sometimes they put corn, but the soup itself, the soup is what makes it delicious, because bulalo is usually the bone, the ligaments, whatever, and the marrow. So it's that soup just absorbs all that flavor, man. And usually they give you bulalo, they'll give you unlimited soup. So man, I can just I pick up the bowl and I'll be drinking the soup like that, and just I can't have enough of that the stock, the beef stock. I can't have enough. It's so delicious. My mother-in-law has a house there, and land produces well, man. Oh, nice. Edgar, Colonel, I pay attention to their voice and look for Adam's. Edgar's funny. Yeah, you can tell from the voice. Yeah, that's right. You can tell from the voice. Captain Ron, she walked up to me and she asked me to dance. Ask her name, and in a dark brown voice she said, Lola. Lola. Fortune, yes, there is Harley Davidson. Yeah, that's what I figure. I remember seeing it online, some guy was buying a Harley Davidson in Manila. So if it's a Harley that you want, Lowell, you can get a Harley in the Philippines. I know you can. I've seen it in Iloilo, Aklan Province, Boracay, everywhere I go. Rojas City, at Canadian Viewer, it's there's Harleys here in the Philippines. In BGC, all right, makes sense that it would be in BGC, because that's where the rich expats are at. That's in BGC, Bonifacio Global. Fortune, Manila, and BGC. Yep. Edgar, you're gonna have to watch for more of that. You're gonna have to watch for more of that, Colonel. You guys are funny, man. You gotta watch for the Adam's apple, huh? I also have to start looking now. You guys made me start thinking Adam's apple. Some folks will bring photos of their families. I am bring photos of my custom Harley. Screaming Eagle. All right. And my pew-pew. All right, and your pew-pew. I'm selling my Harley before I move. Norman, yes, I think in Green Hills. All right. Bulalo is delicious. beef stock is so rich in umami, right? Right? That's how, man, and they make the best. Yeah, Tagaytay, like I said, the mahogany market one, that's the best bulalo I've eaten in the Philippines. Miss my Harley too, but haven't wanted to spend the money. Okay, I understand. Sold my pew-pews already and have to sell my soft tail custom in my Mustang. That was hard for me, my Mustang. Now, I love my Mustang. That was hard to give up. But they do have Mustangs here now, but I can't afford it. I'm not going to buy a Mustang in the Philippines. And it's like, I'm too cheap now, man. But before, at least I got to experience that when I was in the U.S. All right, I got to the bottom. So let me hit my topic real quick. Because, I always try to have a topic. That way we're just not like... Today, my topic, I made a little bit of notes here, is go with the flow. And I look at the definition of the dictionary, what it says, go with the flow. It says, be relaxed and accept a situation rather than trying to alter and control it. And to me, I've lived with that principle ever since I moved here to the Philippines. When I moved here in 2011, my first 18 months were in Boracay Island. It was easy for me just because Boracay, if you think the Philippines moves at a slow pace, if you live in Boracay, not vacation in Boracay, when you live in Boracay, it really slows down. And that helped me a lot. To me, one of the best decisions, I think, for me, it was like when I was come from the States, it's like, I was in the military for 20 years, pressure job, it's like military. When you're active duty military and you're enlisted, I was enlisted in the military. We had I don't care where you work in the military. If you're enlisted, you were the grunt. You were the one working. You were the one stressed. We had so many superiors above us, from a lieutenant to a colonel. Everybody's like, you got to follow their orders. You got to and it's just there's actually a poll that they did, and it's consistent. An enlisted member in the military is one of the most stressful jobs you'll have in the United States. Always, at least in the top 5 of jobs, because you're not, there's no clock. It's like they can make you work 6-7 days, 10-hour, 12-hour days, 16. I've worked 24 hours straight in the military because we had to accomplish the mission. It's just, we don't have a time card. When you're in the military, you don't clock in, and there is no clocking out. The clocking out is when the job is complete, when the mission is complete. Very stressful. And I went through that, 20 years military, very stressful job. And my job at St. Mary's, the 7 years I worked at as a risk management coordinator, it wasn't a piece of cake either. It's like because you made more money. I made more money when I became a civilian, but it was stressful too. Meetings, deadlines, so many deadlines, pressure. It's like you get blamed for things. You got to really know what you're doing. I'm trying to keep up with the comments too, because I don't want to get too behind on your comments. I'll just keep talking with that topic, go with the flow. But so for me, when I got to Boracay, it was perfect for me, because for me it was my 18 months there. I was able to decompress. I was able to slow down, and it took a few months to slow down, and then it took me that time to man, I don't have to worry about things anymore. In the U.S., it was common for me, especially when I was in the military. I would be waking up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, and I couldn't sleep anymore because I'm thinking of what's ahead of the day. I was already thinking of the stuff that I got to do the next day. Same thing with my job at St. Mary's. It's like now I don't have, of course, now I'm retired, so I don't have that issue. I can sleep all day now. But, before, that was that's why it helped me. Boracay really helped me. I spent many days in Boracay. When I eat my lunch, my carinderia lunch, right on Front Beach, I would just sit there. I eat lunch for an hour and a half, just sitting there, watching people, watching the beach, eating my lunch. I would run in the morning, swim. It was just, to me, it decompressed. It my level of wanting to do things, because I think that that happens to people when you're coming here, and it's good that you're preparing to come here, researching, asking people. You know, you're trying to get all the information because you want to retire here, you want to move here. So that's what you want. You want to know as much as you can before you get here. But a lot of, and then it helps. It really helps once you get here if you're really prepared. But once you get here, there's just things that you'll find out that no matter how much you prepared, there's gonna things that will come up. You know, there's gonna be things that you didn't think of, or no, you haven't seen with other bloggers, or you'd never heard of, that will happen. That's when I think that going with the flow attitude will help you. Because for one, you're retired now. You're retired now. You're coming. You're not gonna work here. Not many people come to the Philippines to work. Most of the people I know here, they come here to just enjoy the rest of their life, to find that adventure, to meet that Filipina, you know, meet that Filipina here in the Philippines. So when you get here, you know, it's like, you know, be ready for surprises. Surprises will happen. Surprise, you know, there's no, you know, it's good to be prepared. It's good to be prepared, you know, but no matter how much you prepare, when you get here, there's gonna be things that, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's new. You know, it's like, because for me, I still experience that. You know, even after 14 years here, you know, I still, like, once in a while I'll go, wow, I've never seen that before, or that's a new thing. You know, it's like, you know, things change. Things change here. That's why it's so important to just, like, when you go with the flow, adjust the things here. Don't get too upset if you, like, you gotta wait in line. You know, it's like, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people, that's hard. You know, when in the US everything's so efficient. Going to an ATM machine in the US, you can just, man, I remember driving a drive-through ATM, right? You can just drive through ATM, get your money, and then you're gone. And then I know a lot of times now in the US that you don't even have to get cash. Everything's like, you know, like, they just beep your card or your phone or something. You know, everything's just so efficient. Here, you know, even getting money at your ATM becomes a task, because if you're getting money from the ATM here, like on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, good luck. You know, here in the province, Saturday and Sunday, the cash machine, especially on the 1st and the 15th, they empty out fast. You know, so don't expect that if you go to the mall, that the ATM will be working and you can get cash. The offline sign, or they'll say under maintenance. They'll put a blue sign that says under maintenance. That just means it's out of money. It's out of money. That ATM is out of money. You know, and then even if there is money, right? If there is money, you're standing at an ATM. You could be person number 8. Person number 10 on the waiting in line. You know, those are the things that, you know, you just have to learn just to go with the flow. If you're standing there in line, just, you know, start texting somebody, watch a video on your phone. Just keep yourself, that's what most people do. That's what I do when I'm standing in line, when I'm waiting. I'll start making notes on my phone of, like, future live stream topics. You know, I keep myself busy, you know, that way the time will go by fast, instead of you, like, watching, oh, I'm number 7 now, I'm number 6 now, oh, that guy's taking too long. You know, instead of doing that, you know, it's like, that way you're not getting stressed. You know, one of the things that a lot of times that frustrates people here too is, like, when you go to a government agency here, a lot of times the government agency, pretty Kalibo, they're pretty good. You know, it's like, not long lines here, like at the visa, to the tourist renewal visa, not long lines here. But there are visa places, you know, depends on the area, of course. But the government employees sometimes not all, you know, sometimes they're not the friendliest. You know, they're not the friendliest here, because a lot of times those government employees, you know, they're civil servants compared to, like, you know, similar in the United States as civil servant government employees. You know, it's the same dynamic here. A lot of them, it's hard to fire them, or, you know, they get in position and they feel like a little power. You know, they go on a power trip. You know, so and here, you know, I got a message from a guy. You know, it's like, he said, you should just call the agency there and get the information. I'm sorry, there is no place here to call. It's not like in the U.S. where an agency has a government agency always has a number. You might have a recording or you might have to wait, but you'll get somebody on the line to talk to and ask them, hey, what is the requirements to get a driver's license? What do I need to bring? And you'll get it over the phone. That's not going to happen here. It's like land transportation officer doesn't have a phone number that you can call. In order, like most of the government agencies are like that here. You would have to go there just to ask, like a question. And just to ask a question, if you go to the government agency, a lot of times there's a line and you got to get there early, because if you don't get there early, the line just keeps getting long just to ask a question. And then sometimes, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but you finally get up to the lady and you ask them, or the gentleman in front, and you'll ask them, I need to get driver's license. What do I need? And then you can just tell they're like, maybe they're not happy about their job or something, but you can just tell they're like, they'll hand you a paper. You gotta get, check. You gotta get this. Or if you show them the document, you don't have the right document. You need to. They'll give. It's just you feel like, oh dang, it's like, why did I get this person today? But you just gotta roll. You gotta, you just gotta go with the flow. You can't like get upset. You can, especially here in the Philippines. One thing that you don't want to do is like, I need to talk to your supervisor. That's not gonna fly here. I know in the U.S. that's a common threat, right? If you're getting bad service, I need to talk to your supervisor. That person that that's in front of you, that's serving you, that might be the supervisor, or the supervisor. Well, he's at the lunch, he's gone. It's like, I'm it. So that just makes your life even harder. That person can really make life hard for you. To me, it's just like, you just, like I said, go with the flow, be patient. A lot of times being polite, like for me, I always say, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, I did not know that was the procedure. I apologize. I humble myself, make them feel superior to you. I know that's hard for some, but to me, that works better than all of a sudden like flexing, like, I have, it's like, when you start doing that, it's like, it can turn it worse. The situation can turn worse for you. Like, I'll give you an example here that I know many people that go to Boracay Island. Going into Boracay Island, it takes a process just to get to Boracay Island. And it's always been like that. I've been going to Boracay Island now, I've lived here 14 years. I lived there. I've been back and forth from the mainland to Boracay Island. Not changed. It's still like one of the most confusing, one of the most, you're going like, what kind of process is this? It's like, because even me, I'm an Aklan resident. I'm a resident of Aklan, right? And I don't have to pay the environmental fee. I don't have to pay the terminal fee. All I have to do when I go to Boracay is I pay the boat fee, which is 50 pesos. So I'm an Aklan resident. I have an Aklan ID. That's a perk. That we Aklan residents have going to Boracay Island, because we're citizens of Aklan, basically, right? But even for me, usually my process would be, there's a line that says Aklanon residents. You go to the Aklanon residence, you pay your boat fee, you show your ID, you're good to go, right? But if somebody there will ask you, where are you staying? Or how long, what are you doing in Boracay? Or how long are you staying? If my answer to that person is, if I tell the person, oh, I'm just gonna go eat lunch in Boracay and come back, they'll go you through. No problem, they'll go you through. But if I tell that person, I'm staying overnight at the Henan, I'm staying a couple of nights at the Henan, she will tell me, oh, you're in the wrong line. You need to go to the tourist line. You're going like, dude, I became a tourist now because now I have a hotel reservation, that kind of process. And then when you're a tourist, you got to go on the tourist line. That tourist line is going to be a longer line. And the only reason why you'll have to be on the tourist line, if you have to get to the counter so that you can report what hotel you're staying, how many days are you staying in a hotel. I still do not have to buy the environmental fee. I still don't have to pay terminal fee. So I have to go to a longer line, go into a building, just so that they can record the hotel. That's for information for them. and then I go back. I'm back to Aklan. So another step just by saying I'm staying overnight. So it's easier for me to just say, yep, I'm just eating lunch. It's like, that way I don't have to go to that line. That kind of processes, to me, it's just like, and it's never changed. People have complained on Facebook. You can go to like the Boracay Island page. People complain about the port, about the people working at the port, how they're rude and all that. Never changes. Never changes. It's always like that. It's always like, no matter how many times you go through the port entering Boracay, it's always like that. Driving here looks so insane at first, but you do learn there is a system. Yes, there's a method to the madness, is what I say, Edgar. Like my friend Ruben now. Ruben got a motorbike. He got a motorbike. He's got a Honda Click. A used Honda Click. So he said, Ginno, I haven't made it by the four-way. There's a four-way intersection by McDonald's where it's like this. Especially when the traffic light's not working. I told Ruben, take your time. Go the other route. There's other routes where you can like access things. So he's trying to, I don't think Ruben's an experienced rider, though. He's not an experienced motorbike rider. So he's slowly, but he's enjoying it. I'm glad he finally got a motorbike because that will get him around better. Go with the flow, learning the Philippines. CR. I know, CR, man. Like, if you mean comfort room, that's another thing that you got to be like, it's hard to find like good restrooms here, good comfort rooms here, clean. I mean, like going to a restroom here in the Philippines, right? There's no toilet paper. So if you're used to toilet paper, like us, we always bring baby wipes. If you're used, because if you go to majority of public bathrooms here in the Philippines, at the mall, you're not gonna see toilet paper. So bring your baby wipe, or stop at Watson's, stop at the pharmacy, get some baby wipe before you use the restroom. JB, all right, JB. I think Dazzle says, trust the process when it comes to the traffic. Yeah, trust the process. Like I said, there's a method to the madness. Like me, I'm used to it now. I've been driving now 10 years. Our first car we bought in 2000. First 3 years I rode my mountain bike here. So 2014 was the first time I bought a used car. So I've been driving here now 10 years. I got it down now. It's like I'm just patient. I let everybody through. I take my time. I go slow. I stop. It's like if I go in an intersection, go ahead. I'm waving. I'm like the traffic car. Go ahead. Good. Because I'm not one of those that try to beat everybody to the intersection. A lot of motorbikes here, a lot of tricycles, they'll get into an intersection and they'll block your car with their bike. They'll extend the front wheel because they want to be ahead of you. And usually, like when I see, you're looking at people's faces when they're in an intersection, and that's what Dazzle says. If I do a head down, if I do this, that means go ahead. If I do one of this, I want to go. So it's kind of like I said, there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm to the driving here, and you'll pick it up. Again, just go slow. No rush getting anywhere here. I don't know about go with the flow. Joke lang, it's the only way to be. It is, right? Because if you're the type that, want to fix things, want to like, this is so wrong. Who's the supervisor I need to talk to? I got to report this guy. This is not the right process. It just doesn't work here. You'll just aggravate yourself, and the processes won't change. It's like I said in Boracay Island. I've been going there the last 14 years. That port, the entryway to Boracay Island, it's always been chaos in there. Now, I even saw it. Even Michael's been, from That Philippines Live on his video. He's gone to Boracay many times, and even I could see his frustration even in the process, because you go there and you don't know what the process is. It's like it changes every time, and then this time of the year is even low season, right? When Michael went, this is the low season in Boracay. When it's like peak season, like January to June, there's like 5 times to 10 times the people at the port. So it is really chaos. It's like what I don't understand is like people that travel to Boracay, some people travel from overseas, had a domestic flight in Manila or Cebu and to Boracay. they were tired. You know, they've gone a lot of airports, a lot of ways to come to Boracay. So like the port there, that first impression, and then they're making you go through hoops. You know, you're already stressed, you're already tired from the travel. You know, to me, it's like, man, you know, I remember the time before. We didn't even have that port before. When I came to Boracay in 2011, that thing wasn't even built yet. We used to we used to get picked up by boats by the beach. There used to be people on the beach. You just hop on the boat. You know, when they built that port, that entryway to Boracay, to me it just made it not friendly. You know, not friendly to enter because. You know, they hit you with so many fees. You know, boat fee, I can understand. The boat guys got it, you know, but the terminal fee to use the terminal, what is this, an airport? It's not an airport. It's like a terminal fee, environmental fee. It ain't cheap, man. Environmental fee is like 300 pesos. You know, it's like for a foreigner. You know, that's like what's that? $5.50 just to. Good morning, Josh. Colonel Norman, wish I had shipped my Softail here. Hello, Ginno and the posse from JP. Want you to send, Colonel, want me to send you mine? Oh, yeah, all right, Colonel, there you go. Normal, Belize. I say blend, very much the same. So many cannot. They're spoiled. They're spoiled. I know. You get the spoiled ones. You get the spoiled ones, Belize. But if you blend the simple but frugal smart, yeah, I think so. I think you'll you know, that works out better. I gotta see if the Dodger game started already. Colonel, thanks, Norman. Ginno, I'm curious about what you think. How would you relate, go with the flow, with the term above the fray? Above the fray. I'm not familiar with above the fray. But is that like if you're thinking you're above like the people? That won't go well. That won't go well. If you're thinking like you're better than the people here, that's usually the people that don't do well here because you're treating that you're, you know, like privilege. You're like privileged. And just because you have money, you think you're better than the people. That won't go well. You know, that won't go well. Yeah, so the game's live already. The game's live already. All right. My YouTube is being weird. This is being weird. All right, Jay. I'm not gonna go on a long live stream today because the game has started. You know, I gotta watch my Dodgers. So I'll finish the comments here. Then you don't have to sleep in the dirt floor house, but you respect those that do. Right? You know, to me that's always, you know, that's always been how I am. You know, it's like the person's home, or, you know, whatever, however it's built. It has nothing to do with the person's character. Some of the best people I've met here in the Aklan province, some of the nicest people are like living in like a hut, you know, living in bamboo houses, you know. They're so welcoming. They're like, they'll offer you like, hey, I got bananas, I got plantains, you know. It's like yeah, once you blend in with the locals, once you have your local friends, going with the flow keeps you above the fray, above the fray. All right. Thank you, Colonel. I wasn't familiar with that term. Thank you, Colonel. Morning from Philippines. Kape tayo. Oh, kape tayo means have coffee. I switched the tea to like green tea, but hopefully I'll get back to kape soon. I miss my kape, my coffee. Mabuhay from Samar, Philippines. Thank you for joining the live stream this morning. The only doesn't change is change. Oh yeah, right? You know, it's like things change. You know, that's why for me, I'm still learning. I've been here 14 years. I try to keep up with the news. I try to keep up when people come here. I ask them, how did your flight go? You know, how's the new process? What's the new app? You know, like there's an app, you know, from flying to the Philippines, things like that. They always change things on you, like Daniel's saying. That's interesting, Colonel. Waiting in line is an opportunity to meet new people. You're right. You can start talking to people. People are friendly in line, you know, just like, you know, they're like, they got nothing else to do. Oh, Mom Janet. Hello, hello, Mom Janet. Passing. All right. Greetings, greetings. Thank you for stopping by, Mom Janet. Here, everybody. All right. Thank you. The thumbs up. There are endless issues with how things are run now. Use. Yeah, here, it's like once you like get used to like the flow of things here, Daniel. Once you the life, the way, to me, it's, I don't get stressed. It's like I just take my time. It's like once you understand the rhythm of how things work here, like the island time, you realize that you got to stop being in a hurry, because I know that's hard, after we lived, like me, over 30 years in the US, living in the US. Everything is like go, 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 right? Everything is like on my lunchtime, I got to go to the postal office. I got to send this package. I got to stop at the bank. And on the way to the bank, I'm eating my lunch in my car. You're like go, go, go in the US. Here, man, eating lunch here is like you take your time. You just like, if it takes me 15, 30 minutes to get my order for lunch, it's not going to hurt my feelings, because like where I got to be, it's like, and a lot of times when I have to wait for my food, a lot of times it's better because it means that it's freshly cooked. It's like it's still hot when it comes in. A lot of times when you order something and it's like that, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's in your table, you knew somebody just scooped it and made a plate for you and then handed you the plate. So, everything just like I said, everything moves in a slow rhythm here. You just gotta, understand that and then adjust to that, when you get here. Sergeant USA, hey, all right, Colonel, go with the flow, pathway above the fray. All right, Sergeant, it's a global funk. I agree, global funk. And you will get a different answer depending on who you ask, right? Right? It's like if I go today for the instruction and a government agency, if I go tomorrow, you'll get the different explanation or different requirements. Same thing at the port. Same thing at the port in Boracay, like I'm saying. If I go through there and I catch a really nice lady or a gentleman on the counter, they're like, smiling, welcome to Boracay. It's like, oh, wow, that's a thank you. Then the next day you get somebody that's like, had a bad night or something. It's like, it's like, it doesn't have that welcome to Boracay feeling. It's like, where's your thing? Where's your thing? It's like, it's Edgar, once you get here and start enjoying yourself, you don't think about or worry about the silly things that happen back home anymore. Yeah, Edgar, man, I'm glad to hear that, Edgar. Glad to hear that you're getting into that space anymore. Yeah, you're getting there. You get to that space where, in the U.S., I was guilty of it when I lived in the U.S. I just think living in the U.S., you just worry about so many things. We overthink things. Living in the U.S., everything's like, we got insurance for every single thing in the U.S., right? It's like here in the Philippines, people don't worry about insurance. We'll worry about it if something happens. It's like, in the U.S., we're just like so consumed with worry. Worry is like here, people just like live day to day. It's like if it happens, it happens. It's like you see it on YouTube all the time. People commenting, why is there 4 people riding on a motorbike? Why is nobody wearing a helmet? Why is it? People here don't worry about that. It's because you got to understand, that's the culture here. That's the way they live here. You're not going to change that if you come here and you're like nitpicking of how the Filipinos do the way that they do things, because this is their country. You're a guest here, so it's their country to like do whatever they want. Act the way they want. It's their choice. You're the foreigner that came here that wanted to experience their life. If you don't like their life, there's always that plane ticket back. There's always that plane ticket back to your country. Nice and slow takes time and frustration, but a good training to be laid back and grow your new island boy relaxed vibe. Yeah. You'll get that anyway. The longer you spend time in the Philippines, the one that adjusts here, you can just see people like mellow out. Even the foreigners, the expats, you can tell. It's like the longer they stay here, they adapt to the culture here. Go with has the advantages and complacency. It's a quandary. Yeah, it's a quandary. Well, that's a good term, quandary. Quandary. commonly called a double-edged sword issue. Then, Sergeant USA, when you get to the PI, stay away from big cities and you will have. To me, I mean, that's my choice. Now that I'm older, I lived most of my life in big cities. Now I do prefer living in the province. But, there's, there's good and bad to that. When you live in the province, there's a lot of conveniences and luxury that's not available here. Like, we don't have Robinson's Mall. We don't have SM Mall, the car dealerships here. We have a Toyota, a Nissan, and a Suzuki car dealership. So the 3 dealerships. Just less available here. We don't have like a Gold's Gym here. The gyms here are tiny. The gyms here don't have AC. Those are the things that, I know, coming from the West, if you're like used to like all those luxuries, it might be a challenge to move to the province. But like for me, I prefer the province because at retirement and as I get older, I just have a better appreciation of the quiet life. It's like I'm looking at the score here. Yeah, bottom of the first. Make everyone your friend. People are more likely to help friends. So if you're nice, friendly, yes, right, Ray? To me, just act humble, befriend people, they're more helpful. But when you have that arrogant attitude, like, why am I waiting? What am I waiting for? If you got that kind of attitude, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. Absolutely, Vaughn. Absolutely. Today, I call around to check new insurance prices for more 20 years all insured auto. Okay. Yet I have 3 more due to a lack in insurance. Florida insurance is the law. Yeah, you got to have insurance. Here, it's like, a lot of people here in the province don't even have insurance. I think us expats, of course, we don't want to get in trouble. We have insurance for everything. But Filipinos, half the Filipinos here in the province don't have under motorbikes, especially. Hey, Janet, never had lack in insurance in my entire life, right? Because that's how we're taught in the U.S. You have to have insurance for everything. Good morning, Janet from the Colonel. Vaughn says thank you, Mom Janet. Vaughn, hello, Jax. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. All right. I was in Lake County. A lot of Florida people. I was caught in the point, which is still on perspective view. As humans, we adapt or don't. Skyway Bridge fishing. I've seen that Skyway Bridge fishing now, Daniel, that you sent me that video. Is there earthquake and typhoon homeowners insurance? For homeowners insurance, for me, I have two insurance for my house. I have mortgage insurance because I still have a mortgage on this house. I think I have 4.5 years left on the house. So anything happens to me, they'll pay off. I mean, very minimal now. I think I pay less than $100 a year for that insurance. And then I have property insurance. My property insurance, I think I pay over $100, between $100 to $150, and that covers damage to my house. Like if I get damaged with typhoon or earthquake. But my house is tiny though. It's like 40 square meters, 430 square feet. So I pay about $150 a year is my property insurance. If you have a bigger house, I'm sure it's a bigger cost. Hello. Yes, after my last trip on the Roro bus, I am always carrying baby wipes in my sling bag, right? You learn, right? You learn, Ray. The longer you stay here, you learn. You learn those kind of things. The CR in the port in Catigla only had some half-filled drinking water for cleanup. Yeah, it's like you start Most restrooms here, most public bathrooms here will not have toilet paper, will not have napkins half the time to paper nap towels, soap, a lot of times. That's why bring hand sanitizers, bring baby wipes. Love fishing at St. Petersburg, but a lot of fun off Naples Pier too. Ooh, I know, Daniel keeps sharing me videos of like people fishing off the bridge, off the port. And man, like the fishes they catch, they're just like humongous compared to here. Here, you're happy for a little tilapia here. Yeah, fish doesn't grow big in the Philippines unless you're out in the middle of the ocean. It's like if you're by a bridge here, but everything gets overfished here. Flyboy in USA, there was for earthquake. My mom was broker. All right, broker for Allstate. Me, my insurance here is I was with Standard Insurance for my car. Then now I moved to Stronghold. Stronghold cheaper, but I might have to go back to Standard because I'm not hearing good things about this Stronghold insurance. So I might have to. December is when I have to renew my car insurance, and then my property insurance, but my house insurance is in May. But they're both inexpensive. Like I said, my property insurance for the house is maybe $150 at the most for the whole year. And then my car insurance last year for full coverage on my 2019 Toyota Wigo was 7,000 pesos. So about $140 a year for full coverage. So insurance is inexpensive here. It's not the same to many people fish there now. Oh, too many people fish there now. I know fishing is huge in Florida because all the Florida people I have here, they're sending me fishing videos. Ray, I'm sitting up out of bed. All right, Mom Janet. Praying for good health as always, Mom Janet. Good AM, Mom Janet. I would only go there on weekdays. Same here, Daniel. A lot of things that I do here in Calibo, I try to do everything on the weekdays because weekends, people aren't at work. Everything's busier on the weekends here at the mall here. Like today, after this, I'll watch the Dodger game. Today, after Dazzle and I go to the gym. We always go to the gym in Calibo. I'll probably get a haircut. Time for me to get a hair. This is long for me already. Once I start, I like the high and tight haircut, so I'll have to get a haircut today. To stay above negative situation, avoid vexation in life. It does not mean being above people. Yes. To me, when you start thinking that you're above other people, right, Mom Janet, that's when I think you get in trouble. To me, I've always lived my life. I stay humble. I stay kind. It's like I treat everybody as an equal. I think the minute you start thinking that you're above people, that's people aren't going to be happy with you. People are not going to like you. Above the fray applies to strive to live above the madness in the world. Awesome, Janet. Glad you're making progress. Fortune, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Good morning, dearest. Trey, trying. I got a road to walk. I'm limping, but I'm up. Hey, that's already a step there, Mom Janet. Just keep pushing. It's like if you're up already, even if you're limping, get around. It's like we're all rooting for you. We're all praying for you, Mom Janet, for your good health. Even in aging, you must, for health, slow it down and raise for optimum health. It's necessary. Ginno and everyone, have a good night. All right, good morning, good afternoon. All right. How are you doing? Enjoy your time. Philip. All right, Philip. Not me. I work so much, no time to worry. I rely on God. Too happy to be sad. All right. Wherever you guys go, you'll do well. You have evolved to the higher level of self-independence, greater self-reliance to survive. All will be okay. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you just got to think positive, right? It's like things have a way of working out, And then I think it helps now, for people that are coming here to Panay Island. We got a little support group, It's like we watch out for each other. It's like if when Daniel gets here, when JP gets here, Edgar's here, there's people watching out for Edgar here, so he doesn't feel alone here. That's for sure. He doesn't feel alone. It's like I'm just a text away, I'm a phone call away. It's like whatever Edgar needs. And I would extend the same to the people coming here, because when you come here to Kalibo, when you live in Kalibo, you pick Kalibo, I feel a part of responsible for you being here. So your well-being is important to me. I want to make sure you're safe. I want to make sure you're having a good time. With Ruben, I always like, on mail, I check on you guys. Nefty, I like, hey brother, how you doing? It's like, let me know if you need anything. To me, just that alone, you won't feel alone here. That's for sure. You will not feel alone here. We'll keep it lively here. We got karaoke night now. It's like I actually ordered a little karaoke machine, so we can even do karaoke at people's apartments now, people's houses, because that way you don't. I know that's a big problem now in the U.S. with like older gentlemen, feeling alone. That's a big, because their families have all moved out. Their kids, grandkids, they all have their lives. So that's why a lot are coming here to the Philippines, because they're seeing here. When you come here and you're on the fourth quarter of your life, it's fun here. People have Ray is a perfect example. I don't know how old you're, Ray. I'm not saying you're a senior citizen, Ray, or anything, but what I'm saying is like, you come here, it's fun. There's karaoke, there's fiestas, you get invited, you have friends, you won't feel so like by yourself or alone, like what I'm seeing, a lot of people aging in the United States, and they don't have anybody to watch after them. CR insurance? Is that comfort room insurance? They're funny, right? That's funny. Haha, CR. Bring your own. Yep, you bring your own, right? We always do. We always have like, Dazzle always carries like on her purse or bag, always have baby boys. Because, for emergencies, you never know, Hi, Ginno. Hey, Pinay, hard at home. All right, from Oceanside. I never knew about property insurance in the Philippines. We have a house there. However, never purchased one. Where do you get your property insurance? It's easy. There's Paramount Insurance. You can look it up. They have an office here in Kalibo. I'm sure they're nationwide. So Paramount, just like the Paramount movies, Paramount Insurance. I'm sure there's other companies. There's other companies where you can purchase. And I know Paramount Insurance doesn't only do property. They have medical insurance too. There's several. Like you said, a lot of Filipinos don't carry insurance. They don't think about that stuff, because to them it's just another expense. They figure if something breaks in the house, how much does it cost to fix it? But for us, I guess, because our mentality in the US, we just get insurance for everything, right? For me, it doesn't hurt for me to like purchase $150 a year for property insurance. To me, that's like what, $12 a month, $12 a month. I spend that on lunch. That way, so to me, it's not a big deal. But I do know, with Filipinos, they don't think like we do, because Filipinos here, a lot of times they're just barely getting food on the table, and insurance is like the last thing in their mind. Many people here doesn't have medical insurance, and to me, that how crazy that is, right? Not have medical insurance, because even here in the Philippines, one illness here, that's what ends up happening is one illness, a family illness, a parent gets ill here. A lot of Filipinos end up selling their bike, selling their car, selling their house, borrowing money, because they don't have medical insurance. Many people here don't have medical insurance, unfortunately. Usually when your house is still under financing, property insurance, yes, like that's my house. My house is still being financed. I still got about 4.5 years on this house, so I have to carry property insurance and I have to carry mortgage insurance. But when you already own your house, you need to get one if you want one. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, Fortune. Great explanation. That's why a lot of people, once they own their house, even near Camellia, they drop their insurance. For me, that don't make any sense. To me, it's like, but again, we're all different. Maybe, for me, it's just a small amount to get property insurance. Stronghold insurance is involved in the Senate. That's what I was thinking. I've had standard insurance for the longest time, and I switched last year to Stronghold. Then after I've seen all this negative news about Stronghold, but I'm paid up till December, so I figure December I'm switching back to standard, even if it costs more. Standard insurance costs more, but I think I'm switching back, man. I don't like what I saw with the Stronghold Insurance being involved with the Senate hearings, it's, looking like it's a crooked company. It's like I'm not sure, but it's like I'm switching back. To standard insurance. Pinay, what happened in those Palisades with insurance? They ever pay out? Pinay. Oh, okay. That must be in Oceanside. All right. Salam alaikum. Hey, salam alaikum, my brother. Used to like the high and tight haircut. Yeah, I got to get my high and tight, Colonel, because it's growing here on the sides. It gets warm. I'm not used to hair on the back of my head and the side. It starts getting warm. I like the high and tight. Higher and tighter until I realize it's cheaper to take it all off. No shampoo necessary. That's it. Raise. Next video blog. Carrying CR insurance. CR insurance. Colonel, peace to you. All right. Hello, Colonel. I also got to the barber every 6 weeks for a few hair. My wife wants me to kalbo. He wants to go. Yeah. I have a new barber, actually. He's been my barber now for a few months at the mall. Guys, I like him. His name's Jason. I'll try to film because he's trying to get a YouTube channel going. I told him I'll record my haircut today. I'll do a video of Jason. He's a good guy, young guy, married, got a kid. So I'm kind of rooting for him. I know how hard it is here to make a living like that, raising a family. So I want to help him out a little. I sit and play with my cell phone. He knows what to do. Yeah, every haircut that I do here, that's why I like Jason now. I just sit. I don't have to do anything. I just sit, and he knows exactly how to cut my hair. So I love that. It's kind of tricky when you're a new barber and you're going like, I want it there, I want it, and then you never know what will turn out, right? I like Jason because I just sit there, he does my haircut, then I get the massage on my head, massage on my shoulder, after the haircut, hot towel. He gives me the hot towel. So I was like, I'm loving it. It's called Gems Barber Shop, second floor of the old Gaisano Mall. We have 2 malls, 3 malls actually, but the Grand Gaisano is like 4 stories or 5 stories high. The old Gaisano is like maybe 3 or 4 floors. The old Gaisano is still open. It's only actually maybe a block away from the Grand Gaisano, so that there's two places now that you can go on Rojas Avenue here. Colonel, hair starts migrating to shoulders. Here's some back migrating. Oh, karaoke with friends are fun. I know, right? I know. That's why we loved karaoke with friends. That's why we ordered one from Lazada, like a small portable unit. It keep coming a little speaker. So if we go to the beach or something like that, we can carry the karaoke. We can do karaoke on the beach. So we'll be doing that. You'll be seeing videos of that soon. Get tired of it. It's great. Yeah, and we picked the karaoke machine that scores at the end. That always makes karaoke fun. You know how at the end of your song there's a score. That's when everybody starts joking around. Whatever score you get, like 80, 90, or 100. That to me, that's the fun part. That's the scoring at the end, because usually that's when you got 100, you got a 99. Then he gives me. Yeah, short massage. I get the same thing, man. I like the head massage. He's like massaging my head, man. That feels good when he massages my head. It's for us frugal people, Cowboys for people. Yes, LL Colonel. My brother is like that. He bought a shave and does himself. I'd be worried, man. Shaving, man. Don't you get cut? Don't you get? It's like, I guess you get used to it. I guess you get used to it. Good morning, Charlie Lance. Hey, my good friend in Boston. My good friend in Boston. The Dodgers are playing. The Dodgers. I got it on my laptop here. I got my eye on the score. Nobody has scored yet. Sounds good, Josh. I'll put together the tips live stream with Ginno for tonight's live stream. It is down. Tonight, yeah, I should be able to, Ray. I don't think I have anything going tonight. You know me, man. 7:30. I'm kind of like, that's like my bedtime. So we'll have to like start early. I pick up Leanna at 4. Oh, she got Kumon though. She got Kumon, so I got to take her to Kalibo. But I should be back. I'll make a slot. Maybe we can do it like maybe 6 p.m. to 7:30, hour and a half. If that's cool with you, Ray. I'll block that time for you. It's like that way I can do your live stream. I can be on your live stream. Yeah, just pick a topic, man. Pick a topic. Let me know what the topic is. I mean, we can go on the fly too. We can just like start your live, and I don't know how that works, how you invite that split screen, but I figure you do because you've done a couple. I've never done it before on my phone, so I don't know how to do it. Just invite me and I'll accept and I'll be on your live stream. Great. If I tune in, you both are sitting on the bus, JB. I'll be on the same spot here, man. I don't know. It's like, my bathroom's tiny, man. My bathroom's tiny. Time management is important. All right. I love the hot towel treatment. Yeah, right? After the haircut, they put the hot towel in your face, then, all over. Man, I love it. It's like, it's so relaxing after the massage on your head. They clean it. All the hair is gone from you. I love it. Love it. You get almost a full massage with a haircut. I know. That's what's so great here. And I think they charge me 200 pesos at the mall. That's the mall, air conditioned barber. 200. That's what $3.50. And of course, I give Jason a tip. I give him like 50 pesos. Depends. Sometimes I will give him 100 if it does extra. If it does extra massage. Yes, the scores after you sing. Everyone is so curious. I know, right? Everybody's waiting on the score. It's like, you got a 99 for that song. Everyone, I can't believe you got a 99 for that score. There's always like, but that's the fun part. Fun part is like getting the score at the end of the karaoke song. I just started shaving my beard after 10 years. Soon I hope to shave without all the bleeding. Yeah, I don't shave much. I a little bit mustache, but I shave maybe every 3 days. I've never had a beard. Little hair that grows on me, but I shave every 3 days, and I still got to be careful because sometimes the blade does cut you. 6 to 7. All right, Ray. I knew that was kind of like your time slot. That's why I said 6 p.m. to 7:30. I'll be ready. The ultimate live stream. The ultimate Philippines Positivity 101 with Ray. All right, Ray. All right, I got to the bottom here, man. It looks like we're in the top of the third inning, 0-0, Dodgers and Brewers. I'm going to go catch the game now. Thank you for joining the live stream this morning. I always enjoy the live stream. As you can tell, I won't do it if it's not fun for me. Hello from Canada. You remind me of my favorite comedians, Gilbert. I think I know who he is. I think I know. I'll have to research it now. But he's got that voice too, right? The Gilbert. I'll have to. I always have to take a picture because I forget. I'm forgetful now. Unfortunately, I'm not. I don't have the best memory. Yeah, I'll research that. 2-for-1 special. Enjoy the day. Go Dodgers. All right, I'll hug the shorties for you, Ray. Yes, his voice. I know. I'm thinking Aflac. Okay, Aflac, the commercial Aflac duck voice. The Aflac duck. All right. Also, Lago in Aladdin. Oh, I didn't know. I know. I've seen the Aladdin movie. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. Everyone have a good day, great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. And everyone, please stay blessed. Stay blessed. Take care. All right.